Welcome to the Bentley Systems training course to learn how to assign properties to concrete structures in Staadpro. Over the next series of videos, we will show you how to assign properties to concrete structures, which will include the topics for assigning properties, assigning specifications, modeling supports, and creating basic primary load cases. In this video, we will be focusing on assigning specifications to our sample concrete building structure. Now, the specifications can be used to affect the behavior of the model during the analysis. The first specification we are going to assign is a nodal specification, and it is the master-slave specification. Now, this specification can be used to model special structural elements such as ties or a floor diaphragm, which makes the floor rigid in the plane of the movement. We will also be assigning a member specification, and for concrete building structures, most often you're going to either be using your offset specification or your property reduction factors. Your offset specification can be used to rigidly offset a frame member end from a joint to model the offset conditions existing at the ends of frame members. This can most commonly be used to specify a rigid end offset. In addition, we can also specify property reduction factors, which will be used to specify a set of reduction factors to be applied on the calculated section properties. To assign specifications to your model, we're going to go over to our page control area, select the General tab, followed by the Specifications sub-tab. Over in the Specifications dialog, we see that we have three buttons available to apply nodal, beam, and plate specifications. First, we're going to apply our nodal master-slave specification. Now, whenever assigning a master-slave specification, what we need to do is identify a master node, which will be used to define this property. In order to turn on my node numbers, I can click in my main window and on my keyboard hold down Shift-N to see my node numbers. Now, ideally, I'd want to select a node towards the center of my floor, and I'm going to select node number 38 as my master node. I am now ready to define my specification. So over in the Specifications dialog, I'm going to click on this Node button. From here, I can select my master node. I can select any node in my model, and again, I'm going to select node number 38. I'm going to unselect the rigid checkbox, and I'm going to select the ZX checkbox. This is going to be my way of assigning a rigid floor diaphragm for this area of the structure. I can go ahead and click Add, and here you can see I've created my master-slave specification. I am now ready to assign this specification to the model, and I'm going to want to select everything in this particular area. Now, the easiest way to do this is probably just make a selection before using the assignment method. And I'm going to change my view perspective to view it from the positive Z. Here you can see I can now very easily select the nodes at that roof level. So I'm going to select my nodes cursor from my selection toolbar, and I'm going to highlight everything in that plane. Now, if I turned it back to my isometric view, I can see I've selected all the nodes that I wanted to. My assignment method has automatically changed to assign to selected nodes. And then I'm going to click on my Assign button, and I'm going to confirm this assignment by clicking Yes. For this particular model, we're also going to assign some property reduction specifications for our concrete beams and our concrete columns. To do this, we're going to return to our Specifications dialog and click on the Beam button. Here I can see all of the member specifications that I can assign to the model, and for this model I'm going to select this property reduction factors. Here I'm going to specify a property reduction factor of 0.7, which I'm going to be assigning to my concrete columns. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Add, and I'm going to return to that Beam button and specify some property reduction for my concrete beams, which I'm going to specify as 0.35. And of course, these reduction factors should be coordinated with your local building code. Once you have defined your property reduction factors, I can then go ahead and assign it to members in the model. To do that, I'm going to select my first property reduction factor, which I intend to assign to members in the model. So in order to do that, I'm going to select my beams cursor. I'm going to unselect everything in my main window, and then I'm going to go up to my select menu bar and say select beams parallel to the global y-axis, which of course is the vertical axis in Staadpro. Now I've selected all of my columns. My property reduction factor is still highlighted. I'm going to say assign to selected beams and then click my assign button. And then I'm going to confirm this operation by clicking yes. I'm now going to assign my next property reduction factor, so I'm going to go ahead and select it in my specifications dialog. I'm going to unselect any currently selected elements by just clicking anywhere in my main window. And I'm going to return to my select menu bar item, and this time I'm going to select all the beams in my model. So I'm going to say beams parallel to global x-axis, and then I'm going to go select beams parallel to, I'm going to select the global z-axis this time. This will select all of the members in my model. My assignment method has automatically changed to assign to selected beams, and then I could go ahead and click on the assign button and confirm this operation by clicking yes. That completes my process for assigning specifications to this particular model. And of course, in any model you can assign as many specifications that might be applicable.